Hello, my name is Jess, and this is the story of how I almost caught the wrong thief by mistake. My sister works at a small convenience store that's open 24/7, right below the apartment we live in. Our parents work a lot, so I spend most of my free time there, especially during summer break. The owner, Mr. Garrison, doesn't mind me hanging out there. He probably just considers me another employee because of how much I help my sister. So, one time I was alone in the store. My sister and Mr. Garrison had gone to the storeroom and left me in charge. I was minding my own business when I noticed a very suspicious man walk in. He was dressed poorly and looked like a typical hobo with a messy beard and old ragged clothes. He was wandering around, looking around but not picking anything up. He was acting really weird, so I decided to follow him and find out what he was up to. He tried to avoid me and hide between the aisles, but I was persistent. When he headed toward the exit, I saw my chance to catch him red-handed. But I needed to find my sister or Mr. Garrison first. So I rushed to the storeroom, but instead just ran straight into another customer, a rich-looking lady wearing a fur coat in the middle of March. I instantly knew she was one of those demanding customers who could cause a scene out of thin air. I didn't even have time to say a word before she grabbed my arm and started yelling at me for not doing my job and running around like a madman. I told her that I didn't even work there and that the real cashier would be back soon, but that made her even angrier. "You're a lazy brat. You're lying to me so you can get away with it." She was so loud, I was afraid that Mr. Garrison would hear it, and I didn't want to cause problems for my sister, so I did my best to calm her down. I tried to be professional and asked her what I could help her with, but she was relentless. She was going on and on about what an irresponsible and useless worker I was. When I was on the verge of crying, the suspicious guy intervened. "Leave the girl alone. She's clearly too young to work here," he said. That didn't work, and now she was yelling at both of us, saying that he was just covering for me to get me out of trouble. So now they were arguing about whether I worked there or not. Meanwhile, I was extremely confused about why a thief would stand up for me. I was sure he stole something. I just didn't know what exactly. I started doubting myself. Maybe I was wrong about him? Or was he doing it so I'd let him go with stolen goods? Finally, Mr. Garrison and my sister walked in and asked what was going on. I tried to answer, but the guy and the lady started shouting again. Mr. Garrison tried to make them shut up, but without any success. Out of everything that was said, I understood only that the suspicious guy accused the crazy lady of stealing something and then yelling at me to cover it up. Whoa, I didn't see that coming. He was trying to shift the blame. I was grateful that he was standing up for me, but that was too low. Mr. Garrison told my sister to check the surveillance cameras to see if what he said was true. I couldn't understand why he believed the guy. Obviously, this respectable and dignified woman would never do such a thing. She was crazy, yes, but surely not a thief. Although, on second thought, there was something fishy about her. She was trying to close her purse and leave when Mr. Garrison showed up, when just a minute ago she had demanded to see him. As it turned out, she had stolen some expensive cheese and also a bottle of wine. And when I ran into her, she was putting it in her bag. Why she did it was beyond my understanding. She certainly was rich enough to pay for all the things she tried to steal. Then Mr. Garrison called the police, and conveniently, they were just around the corner. At first, the crazy lady tried to deny everything and said that we put it in her purse on purpose. When my sister showed everyone the recording from their surveillance cameras, she demanded that they arrest the other guy because he had definitely stolen something too. Finally, she started crying and yelling again, and for some reason demanded a lawyer. Officers weren't impressed by her acting skills and just escorted her out. Later, I heard she got off easy with just a warning. Mr. Garrison said that she was one of these people who rarely had to face the consequences of their own actions and tries to place the blame onto someone else. So he called the police to teach her a lesson for acting like that. The suspicious guy wasn't a thief at all. He was just homeless. Mr. Garrison saw him on the streets and told him he could come over to the store for a free meal. And when he did, he was met by a creepy girl who was stalking him all around the store. I was so embarrassed and mortified. I apologized for being such an ignorant dumbbell and treating him like a criminal when he did nothing wrong. I believed I knew how to read people and could always tell who was good and who was bad. But now I'm so ashamed of myself. I was judging everyone by their appearance and by how much money they had. Mr. Garrison wasn't mad at me, but made me promise not to leave the counter to play detective again. I was just glad that my sister and I weren't in trouble and that nothing got stolen. The guy still comes by from time to time. We always chat and give him something Mr. Garrison prepared for him to eat. Did you have to deal with crazy customers too? Or maybe your local homeless person turned out to be a good guy? Share your stories with me in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this awesome channel.